Yo, anyways, you already know who it is. I hope the wind is not too much. You already know who it is. It's your boy, like, subscribe, all that jazz. You already know. Tis I, Wesley of Lancaster. Anyways. So I did a bunch of reviews earlier. I was gonna upload later. I'm gonna upload like 8 videos or 9 videos today. It's gonna be a lot. Anyways, I'm at the park here. It's Monday, no one around. I can be as loud as I want, and I get this gorgeous scenery. I can't walk very fast. So it's like a 40-minute, 35-minute walk for me to get here to record this video. But it's outdoors. You can't complain. I have music and podcasts and the World Wide Web. Anyways, I'm doing Schindler's List. This is Schindler's List. You already know who it is. It's your boy, tis I. Anyways, I'm doing Schindler's List. I feel like I have to do Ready Player One, but I did that already. Yeah, I did that already. I did Lincoln. I guess we're just on a stinking Steven Spielberg thing. I guess. Steven Spielberg. Anyways, I don't feel like watching The Green Mile, though. Listen, I might have to if I'm just doing a bunch of Spielberg movies. But anyways, I'm back Schindler's List. I did The Boy with Striped Pajamas, which was Shad. This Boy with Striped Pajamas, to me, was a better film because it was shorter, and I feel like I just resonated with it more. But I think Boy with Striped Pajamas was fictional. This was realistic. This movie obviously is sad. It's a heart-wrencher. It's kind of tough to watch because it's so depressing and it's so sad, but it's real. And it's long, but it's not like Godfather. You're there for 10 eons long. It's 3 hours, and you feel like it's 3 hours. Singing Liam Neeson, I think he's better in Taken than this as a role, but he was outstanding. And he's an Irishman playing a German Nazi businessman, I guess, or no, sorry, he's an Irishman playing a German businessman. Well, an arms maker and supplier of stuff for the Nazi military. This movie is great, really, really great. It's based on a true story. It is very touching. Oh man, it's crazy. Like 6 million Jews died. This is real. This is the Holocaust. It's horrific. It's genocide. It's awful. Yeah, and I don't know. Because I watched Just in the Boys Striped Pajamas, and I've read a bunch of Holocaust poems, which are so it's just. And I've been in youth ministry for like about 8 years or so. We're just helping kids, and I've been a life coach. I was teaching people. I've been for a long time teaching people and been, in the cities with the people, knowing people's lives, and it's tough, and it's very taxing, and it's heavy, and it's supposed to be heavy because, humanity matters, people matters, and Jews matter, obviously, and they basically just killed all these European Jews, displaced them from their home and put them in concentration camps. It's just horrific, and you just see all this rage and all this anger, and it's obviously it's traumatizing, but it's so terrible. And I always wonder, like, how do you get to be so evil? Because it's not it's evil. That's what it is. It's terrible evil, just murdering people for hate, and just the things that goes on in the film is just so. Oh man, it's terrible. Let me look up some cast members. But no offense, from a movie standpoint, Liam Neeson is like the only thing, like actor, I'm gonna be like, yo, this is dude. But there's a lot of good actors in this movie. This movie it's I don't really need to say what goes on because it's already history, but it's just crazy seeing the smoke of dust of human beings being burned, just mass genocide, and it's terrible, but and it's just hate on Jews, hate on human beings for no reason, and it's just so terrible. But Schindler's List cast, and I hope it's not too windy. Ralph Fiennes did a good job, but it wasn't like I wasn't shook by the performance. It was pretty average, no offense. Ben Kingsley, Jonathan Sagal, Caroline Goodall, Elizabeth Davids, Beatrice Malsodon, Mark. This guy did a really good job acting. I was almost standout, but not enough acting chops for me. It was Mark Ivanar, Malzorath Gibel, Malgorzata Gebel, and a bunch of other people. But this movie was touching. This movie was really good. The acting, I think the acting all around was good. This was a Spielberg movie. I feel like the acting and everything could have been better, but I feel like there's probably a sense there's probably a bunch of young actors because they wanted to get. Obviously, I'm glad they were authentic with it, but I don't know. Some of Spielberg's work is kind of not sloppy. It's just he's a textbook guy, but I think sometimes I'm so accustomed to like directors who go above and beyond, or just they have more flavor, panache. It's just kind of like unseasoned food, but it's still good and tasty. From a director style standpoint, again, I hope it's not too windy. But this movie was fantastic. Obviously, it's a 10 out of 10. Great movie. I'm glad I watched it. I will absolutely rewatch it. The Holocaust was a terrible event. I like the way they put the scenes in the movie. The way it's like the way they were able to show you the story. I've seen the Boys in Striped Pajamas from the perspective of the Jews, but it's I don't know. Like, I like how they put it in a perspective where we can see everything. So they didn't just put it. They made Liam Neeson the story, but they really put us in Liam Neeson's eyes, who can see. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm glad they did it the way they did it, because we were able to see. And it wasn't like they didn't focus the whole story on the depressing, the horrific things that happened. Let me say that. They didn't focus everything on the genocide, and they didn't make the movie too depressing. But it is really depressing, and they still keep that throughout the whole movie. But they still, there's like, I don't know, there's glimmers of hope in this movie, which I like. It's not all, doom and things like that. Which, like, I don't know, it sucked, man. I feel like I was gonna cry several times in this movie because of just how terrible it is. Just like a kid just running, they shoot him, they shoot children, they shoot women, and this guy just beating up this Jewish maid just because of hate, of anger for no reason, and these military people are following along this mass murder, and then they're like hearing the walls so they can shoot the kids, and they shoot the families in there. The people are hiding for their lives. They're just killing kids. It's horrific. This movie is horrific, and one of the hardest movies I ever had to watch because of just how gruesome it is, and it's reality. This happened, It's not fiction, You can't you just imagine it didn't happen, And the activism in me is like, yeah, I need to fight a little harder, but I think I'm doing my part in the world. But man, it's just so. You wish you could be there. You wish you can change it. And this is such a disgusting, unspeakable thing about humanity, but you can't go silent. You have to continue to speak. You have to continue, to voice something that's, there's this saying that was always on my history teacher's wall. Is like, those, Mr. Dobbins, those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it, So it's like, I'm glad there's so much Holocaust museums and things like that. And like, there's these preservations for history. I also watched Last of the Mohegans. And, it's like also similar notes of just preserving history from genocide and all these things like that. Again, important. But, Yeah, they put you in the perspective of Liam Neeson trying to save these people, and they focused on we were able to see everything we need to see, and they spent that's why I'm glad it was 3.5 hours long, because I needed to see it, I needed to be in there, I needed to feel it, But then they also had a movie. Well, no, but they also had a story. They didn't make it complete, a 100% documentary. They also had this story of this, this person who's, he tries to save these people, and he saves. I believe they said, forgive me if I misquoted, 1,100 Jews, and now these people can live because he chose to be a decent human being and save these people, and he didn't do a perfect job. He did his best, in that scene where he's just crying and he's like, I could have done more, and in the accountant's, I don't know the accountant guy's name, he's like, you did enough, you did your part, and he's like, and it's just, it's this redemption in a shitty, crappy, awful situation of genocide. Overall, I'm Schindler's List cast. I hope it's not too windy, and I'm not doing a disservice to this review. But I don't really have anywhere to record indoors right now. Let me see. Oop. Schindler's List cast. I think it's Mark Ivanar, I believe, was the accountant. Yeah, great job. This movie is great. Steven Spielberg, he's an A-lister director. He does great work. This movie is a great work. It's better than Lincoln. Man, it's not just it's from a movie standpoint, reviewing standpoint. This movie, the chronological order, it's just the way the scenes and everything is well shot. Everything's well done, what you expect from Steven Spielberg. But it makes sense, you go from history moment to history moment, and they're keeping you updated with the title cards of what's going on in the historical moments. So it feels like it's not like a documentary, it's a camera that went back in time, and you're able to witness this horrific events, and that's what Steven Spielberg does best. He does what he's supposed to, and the Holocaust is awful, and we were able to see that. It was a great cast. Liam Neeson did excellent. The movie was well done, and the story is a terrible, true story. That's a tragedy. Mark, not just on the Germans, but just on humanity itself, that we let it get as far as it did. And I hope we learn from history. And, yeah, man, this movie was sad. And the Holocaust is sad, and, but, we need to be better, love and be happy, and let's make the better world. Let's make the world a better place for all who live in it. I think that's Nelson Mandela. Yeah. But as a movie, Schindler's List was really good, really strong. I can't decide whether I'm going to put it. It's top 30. It's top 30 all time for me, because the movie was well done, the story is there, and terrible. But yeah, overall, this was a legitimate good movie and very interesting. I think The Irishman might be better, but Irishman is long and kind of boring in parts. This is not boring. But also that's a bad thing, because there's a lot of, terrible things going on. But just, I don't know. I think Steven Zillian, it was a writer. Good. The writing in this was top of the line. Good stuff. Overall, this movie is an easy 10 out of 10, and something I always heard about it, and I thought it was going to be this depressing movie, but it's a movie that's in motion and that's continuous. And obviously the Holocaust is depressing, but this movie is not like when you leave it, it's not like a depressing thing. It's it's a somber victory of the people who survived. But it showcases the 6 million Jews and the events of them being murdered by the Nazis, by the Germans, during that time, during the 6-year period. And it's terrible, but this movie was good. And, do your part.